quick little build makeover for the Not So Berry Challenge house, our main house. So basically, in the next coming weeks, I'm not sure if I'll post them on the same weekend or maybe separate. No, these will be posted on Fridays. So at this point when you're seeing this, the final part of the grey generation has released, and you've seen the slideshow. So this should be the first thing you're seeing after the slideshow, which is pretty exciting. And basically, next week there is going to be another build for this world, like for this generation, or for the next generation, sorry. And basically, I just wanted to tidy up the main house. As you know, in the Plum generation, we do move around a bit. We have to live in 3 different worlds. So I thought it would be a good idea if we sort of wrapped things up at this house and left it a bit neutral, left it a bit more tidy, got rid of some of the decorations and just made everything a little bit cleaner to some extent, so that when we come here and when we do live here, it's kind of just, you know, it's not too overly themed. With previous generations, we'd go really crazy with the colors. And because last generation was grey, everything's already pretty, not bland, but just already pretty neutral. So I was just going around and making everything look a bit more, you know, a bit more neutral, like anybody could live here. But also adding in some hints of purpley plum colours, because that is the next generation. So right now, if you're watching this after the last part, if you haven't seen the last part, I suggest you go watch it. But basically, we have 3 potential heirs, and I need you guys to help me decide. I won't start the next generation until you guys have seen every one of these videos. So until the part 10 has been out for a while, the slideshow, this, and the next build. I won't decide until after, like, probably until after a bit after the last build goes up, because then it gives you sort of like 4 videos of opportunity to have your say. I haven't decided who's going to be the heir yet. As you guys know, they all have like the traits they need, so it's kind of like weird. They're all pretty similar trait-wise at the moment, but I did sort of try and give you guys an idea of their personalities in the last part, I think. When I aged up the girls into teens, I sort of gave them, like, dressed them a little bit towards the way I think their personalities would be, so hopefully that gives you an idea as to who you would want the heir to be. So basically, I'm just making this house really nice and simple so that whoever isn't the heir can live here, and it's not overly not so berry, like the house is just kind of, you know, blandish. And I changed this room where we had the other kids room. I actually changed this room here into a bit of a home gym. We always, in almost every generation, have had some people that are into fitness and working out. So I thought, why not turn this into a home gym? Sure, this would have been better like 2 generations ago. Yeah, granted. But I just thought I'd make it into a home gym because we have people who are interested in fitness and whatnot who are going to be living here. Like Georgia, she's going to be living here even once the heir moves out. So I thought it made sense to make it like this. We just get some towels in around the place so that they can, you know, wipe off their sweat. But we still got the bar and the darts board there. So I imagine that, you know, you could still come in here and hang out. Or if someone else was working out, you could hang out. And we got the foosball table out on the patio. Just sort of still similar, but we sort of transformed it into a gym rather than like a kid's living room, since there isn't really going to be any kids living in here anytime soon because they're all teens plus. So, you know, they don't really need the kids' living room anymore. With the kitchen, I do a big haul over to the kitchen. That's probably what I spend the most time on in this video, is making over the kitchen. I was just going to fix it up. I think I'm actually going to do it later. I was just going to fix it up, but I ended up actually just doing a whole big old reno to it. And yeah, this was when Seasons had like just came out. I filmed this build like straight after the last part. As you can see, everyone's like outside, like I made them go outside. But I filmed this like straight after the build, but I'm filming the voiceover a bit later because I wanted to give it some time so I could think about who I'd want to be the heir. And I'm honestly still not sure. I definitely need you guys' help. At this point in time, I'm thinking Prince or one of the girls, but then I'm not sure which girl to pick, which I know that's like all the options, so I can't really say that. But basically, I'm not sure which one of the girls I'd want to pick if I had to pick one of the girls. Perry, I don't really know. Like, her personality is kind of tomboyish, which sort of makes sense with the whole, like, indecisive oddball. Hold up, just let me get up the rules so I can read them to you. I know I've probably read them to you, like, 7 times at this stage, but you guys never get bored of them, right? Okay. Not So Berry, the Plum generation. I'll probably read this in the next video as well. You've always been good at anything you tried. it's hard to choose a career, so why not try a few? You work as a doctor, and then as an adult, you work in the entertainer career. So as a teen, you work in fast food, then a doctor, then an entertainer. You're non-committal genius dance machine, and you're the Renaissance sim. And you have to master dance and 2 other skills, and then a whole heap of others. You have to get up to 8, complete the aspiration, get divorced, and later remarried. That's the thing. I can't see Perry getting divorced. I see her as a very like she wouldn't get married to anyone unless she was like, you know, dead set on them. Whereas I can see Phoebe being a little bit more indecisive and a little bit more like, if she does sort of like someone, she should be more willing to get married to them, especially at a young age. I feel like she could make some, not mistakes, but just rush into some decisions where she should definitely give it a bit more time, you know? So I think maybe that's where I can see Phoebe being more. And then with Prince, I don't know, I guess we could do that with him, but yeah, I see Phoebe more as a person who would get divorced, because I think she could be a bit more, like, not vain, but just a bit more about, like, appearances and not really consider personality. So maybe she gets married to someone even though they don't have a great personality, and then their personalities clash, they don't work out, and they have to get divorced. I don't know, whereas I see Perry being a bit more, she's a tomboy, she, like, sits back and looks at things in a bit more of a practical light. I don't think she'd ever get married to someone if she didn't think they were the one. But that obviously depends on how we have the divorce happen. It could be that the person, you know, cheats on her. But yeah, I'm just not quite sure on that factor just yet. But then the next part says that we must live in at least 3 different worlds over the course of our life. And I can see any of the Sims doing that, really. But once again, I'm always drawn to Phoebe. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if it's because she's so, like, over the top and extra, like with her makeup. She loves like adventuring with that and exploring. But then I always see Prince as the heir, because that's obviously what we first sort of thought of when we were thinking of who to be the heir, because he was obviously an only child for a bit there. And the twins obviously were not expected because they were ghost babies. Also, did you notice I had that one tile of paint that wasn't painted this entire LP? I'm sorry if that annoyed you guys the whole time, but my bad. But basically, yeah, I'm just not sure who to pick. At this point, I'm leaning towards Phoebe, but maybe you guys aren't. If you guys aren't, that's fine. We can pick like whoever. But I'm just sort of leaning towards Phoebe or Prince. I see Perry as a bit more level-headed, and I don't think she really fits the description of the next heir, because the next heir is very indecisive. They don't know what to do. They get divorced. They move around. Whereas I see Perry being more like level-headed, being like, no, I know what I want. I know, like, I see her being very practical and knowing what she wants and when she wants it, and like she would just be like, yep, like, no, I don't want to marry that person. Yep, I'm going to marry that person. It'll be forever. Like, I don't see her being indecisive or making decisions based on, like, not rushing decisions. Like, I just see her so level-headed, so, like, not indecisive at all. Whereas Prince, I can see how we could do that with him. And then Phoebe, I already see her being indecisive and very, like, not airheady, but just kind of, like, like, even if something in her gut is telling her, like, no, this is a bad idea, I feel like she would still be like, no, I'm gonna do it anyway. That's just the way I see her, but maybe you guys disagree. Obviously, we haven't played much with the teens yet. I'm sure a lot of people would want Prince to be the heir because that's the character we've developed the most, but let me know who you want to be the heir and why. And if we do end up not picking, like, well, obviously we can only pick one. If for the people that you don't want to be the heir, what kind of personality do you think they'd have? Because obviously once I pick who the heir is going to be, I'm going to change the other kids' traits because it doesn't make sense for them all to have the same traits. So for instance, I was thinking if Phoebe wasn't the heir, she'd probably be romantic, she'd probably be materialistic, and maybe a bit of a snob, or maybe like something to do with, like, maybe squeamish, like maybe something like that. And then if Perry wasn't the heir, I imagine she might be a bit hot-headed. She would be a bit nerdy, so maybe she'd be a geek because she is into her video gaming. And then maybe unflirty. I can see her being a bit like a tomboy, like doesn't really like to go out and flirt and wear, like, her sister's always out wearing her mini dresses and her makeup, whereas she just sort of is like, yeah, whatever, like, I'm happy just wearing my sweatpants and, you know, chilling out at home playing video games. And then Prince, I can see him being a bit feminine as well, but I'm not really sure what traits I'd give him. I wouldn't give him romantic. I wouldn't necessarily say he's romantic. As I've always said, Phoebe and Perry are sort of extremes on two ends and Prince is in the middle. So you guys would really have to help me out if we didn't pick Prince as the heir. Let me know what traits you think Prince would have, because I honestly don't really know. I think maybe he'd be outgoing, but maybe also a bit gloomy. I don't know. I don't really know his personality. You guys let me know if you think you would know what to make him as if he wasn't the heir. So leave your comments and suggestions down below. But that is where we're going to go ahead and end this speed build. I hope you enjoyed it. It's just a quick little makeover of the house. But yeah. Okay. Have a snazzy day. Bye, guys.